Welcome to the occult purification program.
How's the transition actually going? Like going from, let's say, whatever you were doing onto music, something that is probably the one thing that the most people in the entire world wants to do right now.
I think it was pretty easy. Just like I don't know. I've always been informed by music, and I think it's always been my favorite creative industry to watch and to see evolve and to. I listen to music all day, every day, and so I think wanting to make music that I want to hear is just like a natural progression of, I guess, my creative output. I think making music with is just a very natural evolution of our relationship as well.
Where did that start?
We're gonna have to cross out for sure. Yeah, sorry. No, I liked it. No, we were at a party and it was this crazy party. Not to sound like silly or cliche, but it was a really insane party in Soho, and yeah, we both just said, yeah, we make music, and we were just sharing each other beats and stuff like that, and it was just very authentic excitement for sharing music with each other, especially different music. This guy's like a rock star, he makes a lot of different kinds of music, his personal music, and I was showing him like crazy rap music and like crazy intense beats like over with like raps over them, and that's pretty much just like how our relationship started, and then that was like almost 2 years ago.
But he's been making a lot of music. You haven't really been making
I
music.
haven't been putting music out. I think I've been involved with making music for like now, at least like 6, 7 years now. But it wasn't
Involved in
something
what sense?
producing
Yeah.
and writing. But it was never, none of that music's out.
Did you know you were gonna walk into being an artist like ever since you started in music, or?
I think when I was touring with different artists and seeing different artists like in the studio and their processes, it was more of like it doesn't seem as hard as it looks, or I feel like a lot of these people weren't as talented as they were presented, and so it didn't seem like that daunting of a industry to put my feet in, and I think surrounding myself with different kinds of studio artists over the years when I was like a teenager to my like early 20s, I think was and it just seemed much easier. I just started hanging out with friends that had music studios, and it was like started making beats together, and we weren't taking it so seriously, but it was just like a nice switch from painting or shooting video or something like that. It was just like it was intimate, and it was experimental, and it was authentic, and we weren't trying to do anything specific. It was just like, we're here together, let's make something, and I thought that was really fun, and not much came out of that besides just making a lot of random stuff that will never, no one will ever hear it or see it, but it was cool. I think it gave me the confidence to be able to try to make music, I guess, or
Yeah, because you didn't have the confidence before.
No, I just think there's like with any kind of creative outlet that say you didn't grow up doing, you weren't classically trained in there seems like there might be a higher barrier to entry than there is, and I think for most of my creative outlets, I think it was me having this natural inclination that there's like this fear of my being new to something, not being able to match my taste level, and so that's always a thing that maybe makes people like hesitant to start something.
Yeah, because that is like when you've done shit in your scale with like video or like just visual arts in general, moving into something completely new, it's hard,
Totally, because
right?
it's like what is quality in terms of what is critically acclaimed or is commercially successful, and then you're informed by the stuff that you like personally that maybe is not so in line with what is popular. But I think finding your voice in between that is the most difficult thing, because I think as an artist, so as a multidisciplinary artist, I think a lot of my initial work was just imitating the stuff that I liked to teach myself, like how I can copy something until I figure out where my voice is in between that.
Yeah. Because obviously you got to do a lot, make a lot of music to figure out what kind of music you actually want to make, right?
Totally, and I think the beginning of me making music, where I wasn't so much taking it seriously, but I was working with different artists that worked in different genres, and more so overseeing how that final output comes out, whether it's like a pop song or it's a rap song or something like that. It was like, I don't listen to pop music. We're kind of making pop music now. that's listenable. Like I would listen to it for sure. But it's like even when I had moved to LA, I was working with just a couple artists, and like it was not music that I would listen to personally, but it would be music. It was music that would be commercially successful for sure on like paper. And I think just being able to feel more comfortable, not coming from a music background, to be able to have a say in a creative session with an artist, I think was transcendental for me. Just I guess moving forward and wanting to make more stuff.
Because I mean, obviously you've been saying that you have big, or like you both have big plans for music in general. Like that was like one of the first thing you said, like, I'm like, this is gonna go. And like doing that in the sense of like, you know, obviously if you know you have like a commercial successful hit, which is like by the book, then it's like, you can say that, but you know, it's like, yeah, this is gonna go, you know, like we've both been in rooms where like the artist is just like, this is a hit, man, because it's just so commercial digestible. Right. But like what you walking into, it's not that, you know. But it's like, do you feel like, obviously we both are coming from like, let's say the old school of whatever, and the commercial successful shit back then was like fucking everything, you know. It was like, I mean, Rage Against the Machines, it was like, it's still a big commercial, you know, success in a way, you know, but it was like obviously not a, you know, whatever pop way that was at that time. Like, does that play into like the way you think?
Well, yeah, I think with Rage specifically, and if you can for sure talk on it more than I can, even I know he wants to.
Yeah, talk on it.
It's just like that energy, that approach to music at that time was very indicative of the time period that music was being made in and what was happening in the world at that time. And I think that energy behind that creative output and wanting to say something in a time that you feel angsty and kind of, you know, you're at odds with what's going on in the status quo of the world, I think that's definitely part of our music for sure. I think this project is like an exercise in him and I being able to translate, you know, the parts of us that we can't do by ourselves so easily, I guess, or, you know, but go ahead, the answer. I don't know.
Yeah. We make music that we want to hear.
Yeah.
You fill a gap. Rage filled, like there's an anti for every art form. You have to be anti something or with it. Like pop music is knowing that that people are gonna like it, so you make it. But then there's like, you know, Rage is like the opposite. It's like talking about why you're stupid and why the government is dumb, and it works that way, because with positive you need negative, with negative you need positive.
Yeah, like we're making dance music right now. I think electronic music was in a weird space, like in the late 2010s, like mid 2010s to now, where there is a resurgence in electronic music. There's a resurgence in like this post-pop punk kind of, even like new metal leaning music is like, I think it's making a big comeback. And
because when you say that, like, does that come from you, or just like you, let's say, reading the market or like the commercial side of it?
I think I'm just looking at I think music was following a formula of just like, let's emulate what works and what works and what works, and let's beat it over the head until, you know, it's commercially successful. And I think that is tiring at this point. I think it's a little bit exhausting. And I think because of that, there hasn't been a lot of people that have been willing to experiment or kind of just go back to the roots of why they enjoy music, or the music they'd like to make just should be in line with the music that they like to listen to, I think, if you're trying to do anything authentic. And so for us, like, I don't make dance music. He doesn't make dance music either. And now there's dance records that have been made, like a bunch of them.
But like, how does that, like, was that an output that you just like fuck, like I want to figure out, like, if I were to make dance music, how would that sound like, type of thing?
Not really, no, because he doesn't even listen to music. So for as much as like he can be informed about like what we're trying to emulate, it's not like it's current. And I listen to like all different kinds of music, but I've been, particularly I guess over the summer when we started this project, I was listening to a lot of like experimental, like house, like so but that wasn't really informing what we were making, because before we even decided we were going to do this project, we had met up and just made a bunch of beats that were all over the place, but they were tight as fuck. And it wasn't like, oh, this is music that will be made for a club, or there's no intent behind just making that. It was just like, we're here, let's follow like a direction, you know, that we feel makes sense right now. And we crushed like a bunch of beats, and those haven't even made it onto the project yet.
Do you feel like are you making are you making music in a creative and free flow, or is it a lot of instinct in the creation of what you're creating now? Or is it more, let's say, deep thought, digging, like
Whatever you just like throw. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
This guy's been waking up at 6 a.m. for the last like 7-8 months now, and just making music, and then making music before he goes to bed, and then figuring out how to feed himself in between then. This isn't much of a transition for him. I mean, it is in the sense that this guy makes rock music. He's a rock star, and this is a different project. There's no faces or names on this project. It is very much just like a team effort and an amalgamation of a lot of eclectic people that have come together to contribute to something that is bigger than what they do by themselves. And
we're just translating it now.
Yeah, we're in the business of translation right now, and so, and for me, it doesn't feel like much of a transition. It just feels like a natural progression, and just coming from the ad world and I guess just creative consulting at large. Music is kind of all encompassing with all of my interests, from video to design to any of these things. So
Is this a more free output for you than a lot of the other stuff?
Yeah, because I feel like it's giving back more to me than I'm having to give to it.
But also the impact we're having on each other, us two and the other people involved. And it's not like we're all perfect people either socially.
No, this is terrible. We're working on communication.
Yeah, like it's like a program outside,
you know,
of music itself. Like we're trying to better each other.
For each other, for ourselves. It is very much like it is
anger management.
It's therapeutic in a way. It's like learning how to deal with other people. Like I don't like, most artists don't really love working with other people, or listening to other people's opinion about what should be, how something should be. So it is very much a negotiation that is happening.
That was me a year ago.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a single thing from anyone.
Yeah,
But now you take something from someone?
Well, it's almost like I'm intentionally giving up control.
Yeah, he's letting himself out.
Does that feel good?
It does feel good, because I feel more mature. And it's not like either one of us looks down on the other. We all have our faults, and we all have our like good that we can add to the project and to each other. And that's like, we go and play basketball together. Shit gets heated, but it allows for that energy that is dormant a lot of the time to come out, and it feels great at the end. No matter if there's arguments or like people are about to fight, whatever. It just, like, at the end we're all smiling and like very glad we spent those hours doing whatever it is, music.
Is it a lot of this into the music you're making now, in the sense of like, you were mentioning the program. Obviously this is out, that's why it's called that, right?
The occult purification.
Well, it started as other people's problems, because we were the opposition, this idea of there being a peripheral opponent or something is just so in your head, as in like other people's problems are not my problems. And once you make other people's problems your problems, you're in the way. That stuff's in the way of you being able to focus on your own shit. And that's an excuse. It's a silly excuse. But coincidentally enough, we've made a group, and we are picking up each other's problems and having to deal with them.
But also facing our own.
Our
personal problems.
And so it is a purification process. It is a program, we're sticking to the regimen of showing up to the studio multiple times a week.
Being open.
Being here for each other. being open to just what can be, can be made. I think in the future, I think it's going to get a little bit more like focused. I mean, we've been in the creative output has just been, it's been accelerated since May. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of effective projects that can be organized from what we've made. I think now it's just we've been working on branding and packaging for this EP that we're putting out in Copenhagen. Should be pretty awesome.
We do everything in-house.
They're going to give us money to give them music.
Do you feel like you guys have better persons now from, I mean, you obviously just started release stuff, which is probably a big relief, but then it's like more real in a sense, getting a closure on it. But has this, I mean, you were talking about it, that it's therapeutic in its way, but do you feel like a better person now than before you started this project?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think we know how to deal with different people socially, and being a human is a social reality. I think that I think the process for us is so helpful and therapeutic, like you're saying. We all agree, like we all, whether we're, don't want to acknowledge it all the time or not, but like, it's good. Like you can see the differences in how people are acting and like what to do. And it's like, as time goes on through this process, through the daily, like whenever we meet, that process in itself, it's
a fucking process.
better.
People are never on time. It is like, it's a lot of having to accept that everyone is moving differently, and obviously consistency is proving to be king right now, because we were consistent for the last 3 or 4 months, and now we have a lot to show for it. And so having put the first release out, it's cool just because it's real and people can not complain about having, listen to files or audio messages in their phone, and they can just stream it whenever they want. And
it saves me.
Yeah, it's annoying because it's super easy to listen to files. Because I listen to files on my phone.
I only listen to files. I don't use.
But it's easier. People can put it in their playlist now and not think about it, which I think is cool. I think the music it's digestible, and I think it's challenging genres in a sense. I don't think we're married to one specific sound. We want to perform our shows. The is a natural evolution of the O.P.P. But we want to be able to make music.
But we don't talk about that.
Yeah, that's not even going in there. But the O.P.P means a lot of different kinds of things, and I think
Me saying like multiple times this is a one take, and it's like, yeah, this is not going in there, this is not going in
yeah, that's good. That's really good. It'll just be a lot of that. No, I think that's cool.
Just cut those together.
People are just gonna be like, what were they talking about? I think that's interesting. But no, I think it's a lot of just it's a lot of collaging now. I think especially as we're moving through genres, it's just figuring out whose voice is right for what. If we want vocals, putting out this project that has multiple, just like more or less instrumentals or beats that are not songs. And that's kind of cool because those things need a place to live. And I think being two multifaceted creatives, I think we've been so used to just making a lot of things that have never seen the light of day just because they were scrapped, or that idea informed another and that evolved into something else, and that original thing, just living it.
So you're not bound to one format or one style or...
No, we're slutting ourselves out this project.
Yeah, this project is...
We're going to slut ourselves out through the industry. We're going to make everyone's music better, which means music will be better in general, and that means that, parties will be better, and shows will be better, and the radio will sound better, and yeah, we're slutting ourselves out.
So you're making the world better in a way with this project.
We're making ourselves better, and we're making music better. I think people need to step to the plate and make better things, because the barrier to entry for making things is so low, which is awesome because it shouldn't be gatekept. But I think there should be standard bearing, and I think that we shouldn't be celebrating mediocrity in arts, because it becomes, people are attracted to the lifestyle of being a creative artist, but they don't want to live the life of a creative artist, which means you have to go through shit and grow through things. And they don't want to hear that shit, but that's true, so that they can go fuck themselves, because this shit's real. And we need to bring back the quality to these things, and that starts with good conversations and good intentions behind why you do things, and
trying to be better.
Grow through the bullshit, and
this control only starts from one place, and then it can evolve. If you're
Yeah.
worried about everything else, you don't deal with the necessary root of the solution, right?
Yeah.
So if we're focusing on ourselves individually, and then one step out is each other around this project, that will only go further and further out in the rings of, you know.
Yeah, this shit is easy. This is like authentic. Being able to do this together is it's very natural and it's not forced. And I think if it was, we wouldn't be doing this in the first place.
Right.
And I think people should follow their natural inclination to pursue what, you know, I don't know, is progressive for their, you know, where they want to go, but more so just like it facilitates something inside of them that makes them feel more, I don't know, at home in yourself and at home in your environment and with the people that you have around you.
Right. We're all so different.
Yeah, this is a very diverse group of
Like
people.
the way we think everything, we're just like-minded in the idea that we want to be a part of something, because who doesn't? But it's, a lot of people want to be a part of something and don't want to do anything.
Yeah, it is.
So-
That's the culture. The state of the culture is take. They don't give more than they can take from it, and then before you know it, you know, they're at the bottom of the jar. There's nothing else to take. So, yeah, I think that's bizarre. We wanted to make a chicken parm. Well, I'm hungry. I want to make me any food.
Not today.
I don't know. We've been talking about food ever since I walked in there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We got whiskey
Tortillas,
coming. That's
fucking-
kind of cool.
Chicken.
You guys gonna stick around for the whiskey?
Yeah. There's gonna be drinks coming
Oh,
soon.
I want to hear the song though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A song? What do you want to hear?
I don't know, any song.
Any song.
I like that song.
Funny.
Yeah, play something.
Okay.
You want to play it here, or do you want to reroute over there?
Yeah, we could do that just to show the cameras.
Yeah.
I'll take this
Let's
one.
go cameras.
Hey.
Probably do this.
You're coming with me.
I reckon you can go right here so we get some lamp. And then I can spin you around in
Ooh.
circles like
That's a cool shot.
yeah.
Oh, be careful.
Some play here.
Sure. Yeah, let's turn these on. Some more light. What should we play?
Play
Damn, I wish we made music before this.
Yeah.
We don't have any music yet.
that's we're trying to, we want to be artists, musicians. We're aspiring. We figured out the name, we figured out logo, we even figured out the packaging for when we make compact disc. But we need to make music first, so just give us 1 second.
I feel like the Dropbox folders you have sent is just like fucking, I can't even go through it in a day.
I don't know what he's talking about. It's just filled with the song names, ideas for song names. It's just a bunch of thumbnails of the music thing with no file.
Yeah, they're all 0 bytes.
That's sick.
Got too much in my head to be inside the club. So could you show me love? I think I may be stuck. Got too much in my head to have a conversation, to fall for your temptation, to fall for you again.